One of the most important rules of this program is going to be the way you believe in yourself, the way you talk about yourself, the way you think about who you are. Now, this isn't going to happen overnight, but this is my biggest goal here because for me too, I'm learning this as we go along. I am no way an expert in this, but I know how important it is. And it's how you talk to yourself. It is so freaking important. The way we say these things about ourselves. Like, so when you're thinking about who you are, right? Are you like, hey, what's up? I'm Joe. You know what? I'm lazy. And sometimes I fucking, I don't know, like I always fuck up. I make a lot of mistakes. I'm this and that. You know, like a lot of us, we say that. Number one, if you grew up in a conservative or traditional family, sometimes we're taught to be humble. Don't fucking have a big ego. Don't, show off, whatever. It might be cultural, but what ends up happening is we develop a negative sense of self because we're not worthy. We're not good enough. We're not the best. And so you start believing those lies in your own head. You think you're fucking stupid because maybe somebody called you that. And when you don't have a strong sense of self, anybody can incept your mind and start calling you certain shit and you'll believe it. And then that's who you'll become. You'll play the role that is expected out of you. But my goal is to teach you that those things are not real. They never were, and that's not who you are. And this is something that I had to figure out and learn, and I'm still battling with. Because throughout life, you convince yourself that you are somebody that you're not. And you can also rewrite that program, and you also have the power to change all this. And whatever we believe in at the moment about ourselves and how the world sees us, I want to let you know that all of that is completely changeable, completely. For example, I know one thing that people do that destroy their own ability to be successful because people are afraid of ridicule and judgment. So what ends up happening is before someone can attack you, a lot of people attack themselves because they don't want criticism, right? I used to do this all the time where I'll be like, well, I'm not that smart, but here's my opinion. Like, well, I don't know this, but here's what I think, right? I'm prefacing that statement with something that can prepare if anyone attacked me or whatever, I'm like, well, I already called myself stupid, so you can't, And a lot of these words are really damaging. We do not want to say things that make us weaker to ourselves. And so you don't want to go the other route too, where you're overcompensating and you don't want to get to this weird point where you're constantly talking about yourself and everyone looks at you like you're so conceited and egotistical. I think we all try to avoid that. That's why we try to appear as if we're humble. But also it gets to the point where we have low self-esteem and a low self-image. So my whole goal here is to teach you the middle ground. The middle ground where all of this is done well is being able to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you can't be in a relationship and have love with other people. If you don't love yourself, you don't have self-security to where you believe your own thoughts and you can accomplish anything you want to do. And so when you join this program, it might have been like, oh, well, I want to learn about finance and pursuing my goals and all these other things. But it's much deeper than that. The human psyche is capable of doing crazy things. And you might think that that's other people, not me. But I'm here to show you and help you unlock your own greatness. And in order to do that, you have to have a belief in your own ability, first and foremost. And if you don't know how to do that, you can't even get to the point of pursuing anything. Because if you don't believe that you can achieve it in the first place, you failed before you even started. And I always say this, right? Everyone, they go, I have this New Year's resolution. I'm going to go to the gym. And then what happens? After week 2, everyone stops going to the gym. And whether it's because they don't have the successful mindset or the great habits to keep them in there, or the discipline, or whatever it is, they talk themselves out of it. Like, what's the point? I can do all this work, but I'm never going to lose weight, or I'm never going to get strong, or whatever it is. We don't have the right positive mindset and a successful belief system to keep us in there, to keep us going. And so that part is so important. And that's why I want to stress to you what you say to yourself, the belief, all these things we're going to change. We're going to completely rewire the program, and we're going to get you to the point where you are more secure with yourself than you've ever been before. And after this program, what's going to happen is that now you take all those tools and now you have all these habits, and now you have a more calm sense of love toward yourself, where you can now do whatever you put your mind to. Because self-doubt is the number one reason why people will never achieve the things that they want to, or fear, or self-hate, or guilt, or whatever it is. All those things happen because you don't love yourself and you don't believe in yourself. So I want you to take this in. And if you're ever saying negative things about yourself out loud into the world or in your own mind, try to catch it and try to let it go. And try to forgive yourself for saying those things. And throughout this program, we're going to work on that a lot, because that's really freaking important. And it's not a step-by-step on how to make a ton of money or pursue a goal. Again, all those things are easy to do. The hardest part is to rewire your mind and working on yourself internally. And that is the key to all of this.